Hello, everybody. Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm so glad to be with you here today for day 2 of my online class to go for this week. This week, I am featuring the Adventure Together bundle. It's a stamp and die bundle that is in the online exclusives part of the Stampin' Up store. You can see it by going to tuttleupshop.com and typing in online exclusives, and all of our online exclusives will show up. Okay, so this is a bundle, stamp set and dies together. Great little cute little camper RV stamp set. And hi, Linda. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for popping in. And today, I don't really have a fun fold for you, but I do have a cute little interactive card that I think you guys are going to enjoy. And I have to admit, I really wanted this to work, and I struggled with it yesterday. And went to bed and just thought I'm gonna think about it, and I woke up with an epiphany and put it together today, and it all worked out great. So you get the benefits of my lack of sleep last night. So if you hear barking, it is because my sweet husband texted me about 20 minutes ago and said, hey, the bug sprayers are going to come spray the outside of our house sometime this morning. Well, they showed up about 10 minutes ago, and guess who's not happy about it? Miss Rory. And she's barking a lot in the background. So I hope that isn't too annoying to you. I don't even know if you can hear it or not. But it is what it is. So we're just going to go with it. All right, I'm going to move to my hands here. We're going to get right to stamping today. Let's tuttle up. Let's get some stamping done. And these are the 3 cards that we made yesterday together. I like the pool party with the Lost Lagoon and the pretty in pink. Isn't that such a pretty color combination? I love that. This was inspired by Claire Daly, who is an Australian Stampin' Up demonstrator. She has very good taste. I loved that one. This one uses that Everyday Skies DSP in the background. I love the purple with the navy in this one. The little camp chair with the fireplace. I think that's just a fun little camping scene right there. And the inside, all we did there is put the DSP along the edge. And then this one was fun because we created that camper's moon, I call it, with the flirty flamingo, calypso coral, daffodil delight, and smoky slate. We created some mountains with the plaster embossing folder. This is pretty peacock, such a pretty color combination, I think. And then that was the inside of that card. Okay, so today I'm going to show you my original prototype, but we're going to make it better. This is our little camper card, and this is going to slide back and forth. Now, mine's not working very well, and like I said last night, I thought about it, and I think I have found a way to make it work better. Isn't that cute? Do you guys like that? Good morning, Jeanne. Good morning, Imelda. I know you're looking forward to going to California tomorrow or Thursday. I can't remember. But cute. It should slide a little easier than that, and I think I found a way to make it work. So let's get started on this. We're going to start with a card base. That is, I'm going to zoom back out a little bit. I feel like this is a little, there we go. A little too close. 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. Our card is going to go this way. And again, if you hear Rory in the background, I'm sorry, but the exterminator is here. In Midland, we have lots of little bugs, so they come out every few months and spray, and she's not liking it. Okay, and now I have a piece of Poppy Parade. This is just an 1/8 of an inch smaller than our card front here. And I might even trim, looks like I could trim a little bit off this edge here. I want it to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and it feels like I just need a little hair off there. There we go. Let's see if that works a little bit better. We're going to put this Poppy Parade panel, oh yeah, that's a lot better, right on the front edge of this card. Okay, I'm going to use some liquid glue so that I can have a little wiggle room. I have started watching another season of Love in the Spectrum. Have you guys ever watched that? It's about autistic individuals who are looking for a mate, a partner in life, and just their struggles that autistic people struggle with as far as making connections. They already struggle to make a connection, right? And then their autism. And it is the sweetest show. They're so innocent, so sweet. I just tear up. And some of them are very rigid, right, in what they want. But it's really sweet to see them, grow in the effort of trying to find a love match. I don't know if any of you have watched it or not, but if you do, I would start from the beginning because they bring characters back throughout the season from previous seasons and keep working with them. They have little coaches that help them learn how to say the right thing, right? So there we go. Now this paper, I didn't tell you what it was. It's from the To the Market paper. This will be retiring, but it's the one with the, you've got the vegetables there, but it's with the grocery cart. And this is the piece that we use, the back side of this one, and it's kind of a wood grain piece. So that's what I used on the front there. Okay, so this card I was inspired by a swap that I got at On Stage, and I wanted to recreate it for you. I'm using totally different papers. My friend Monica and I have been, she actually redesigned it, and we've been working together to find just the right fit of the pieces here to make it slide properly. Okay, so you need a piece of basic white that is cut using that largest hexagon die from the Nested Essentials dies, okay? And then to create our, I still need one more piece here. I need these two pieces. To create our scene on the front, I'm going to take my 2 trees and my garden green ink pad. And I'm going to stamp some trees, and I'm going to stamp off some trees. So I'm going to stamp a tree, stamp off a tree. I'm going to keep doing that at different heights. Stamp a tree. That just fell right into my ink pad, but it's going to be okay. Stamp off a tree. Okay. Keep going. Different heights. Overlapping, so it looks like a forest, right? Okay. And I don't think it'll show, but let's do a little one right down there. Okay. Then I guess I didn't even use my small tree. And then I am going to use my small tree on my garden green. Here I'm going to stamp in garden green, a garden green small tree. And then in garden green, a garden green large tree. Okay. And I'm going to cut those out. Have any of you out there made slider cards before? This is really one of my very first attempts. I feel like we used to have a die set that was created just to help with slider cards, but of course I didn't have it. So we had to make it work our own way, and I'm excited to show you how I did that. Okay, and then here's my small tree. I'm going to cut both of these out real quick. Well, she stopped, so he must have gone around to the side of the house. There we go. Large tree, small tree. I've also cut out one of those labels that is in this die set, this little hexagon. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half. And we're going to add some little tabs to either end of this, just to give it a look of like maybe a label is underneath it. Okay, so I'm going to add some liquid glue right here. Okay, I just used this liquid glue. There we go. And over here on this side, over here. And I'm just going to lay these on either side. So just about 1/4 of an inch hangs over on either end. There we go. Maybe push this one in just a little bit further. Okay, there we go. Now, before I do anything else, I need to create inside here a slit so that my RV can slide back and forth, and it has become a science, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, and I have a pen, and I'm going to go up about 1/2 an inch from the point right here. So about 1/2 an inch up. And I'm just going to put a little mark right there and mark my center, okay? Right there. Put a little pin mark right there and mark my center. And then from that pin mark, I'm going to go out 1 inch from either side, okay? So I'm going to go out 1 inch this way, and then 1 inch that way. So I'm just drawing a line that is 2 inches wide, 1 inch on either side. Okay, so I marked my middle. See if I can get that so you can see it right here. About 1/2 an inch up, and then I drew 1 inch that way and drew 1 inch that way. Okay, so that is how long I need my slit to be. And that's important because you don't want your slit showing while the little RV moves, okay? Now, this is what I came up with, and it's kind of crazy, but it worked. So I got this die, and this die came from the Delightful Florals. Now, you might have something else that works for you. You need it to be only about 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch wide this way, or okay, or else your sliders will not fit properly and your RV will not move the way it should. So I am drawing, using the edge of the inside of this die to draw another line above the one I just drew, and I'm going to go down like this on the side. So this is the part, hopefully you guys can see it. It's 2 inches long and 1/8 of an inch wide. That is what I'm going to cut out of that little piece right there. Okay, so to do that, I actually am going to grab my paper trimmer. I'm going to put this in so that the top line is in the alley, and I can kind of See that? I'm going to hold this still. The top line is in the middle right here of my space. I'm going to, yep, adjust it. And I'm going to take my paper trimmer. I'm going to lay it right on one end and cut a slit to the other end. Okay, and now I'm going to move it and do the same thing with this other side. I'm going to make sure that line is right in the center right here of my gorge. I'm going to lift up my paper trimmer. You can see it. It's hard to see maybe on camera, but I can see it right here. And I'm going to slice it right along that line right there. Okay, now I'm going to pull this out. And I have my slot right there. Look at that. And so I can take my paper snips now and snip off the end. There we go. It's important that those lines are kind of straight because your piece won't slide very well if it isn't. All right, so now let's practice. I got these sliders, these plastic sliders on Amazon. I actually typed in sliders for card making and it popped right up. Okay, I'll put a link to these in the description after this video is over. But these discs have a slot on the inside. You can see that right there all the way around. And that's your paper is gonna go into that slot right there. Okay, so are you guys with me? Now I'm just sliding this in to either side right there. And it feels a little tight to me. See how it's not moving? So I'm gonna pull this back out. And all I need to do is take a little bit more off this edge right here. And I'm just going to use my paper snips for that because I have a nice straight line. And then I will test it again. Okay, there we go. Let's see how it's working now. Oh, look. See? Slides nicely. So it just needed a tiny little bit taken off there. It wants to kind of hug right here. So I'm going to just trim it, make that a little bit straighter right there. Okay, there we go. Believe it or not, that's going to work. All right, so now that I have my slot in there, I'm going to go ahead and add my plastic piece here. Okay, right like that. It slides really nicely now. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back side. So maybe those of you out there, you have done this before and you're like, oh, Judy, you're making that way too hard. There was a punch, I think that you could use, but I didn't have it. And so we are making this work with what I have. I'm grabbing some dimensionals here. Thought I had some sitting out, but doesn't appear so. Okay, so I'm going to add lots of dimensionals here. Now, you don't want to impede down here. You don't want to put any dimensionals around that might impede that slider, okay? So having these dimensionals on the back are even going to add more space behind that slider to help it slide correctly. All right. You guys are being very quiet today. Are you taking in how to do a slider with me here? Concentrating like I am? Okay, so just don't want that slider to get hit by anything, but I do want a good lift right down here. I have a friend on my team, Kay Paulson, and I call her the queen of interactive cards. She just knows how to put these things together, and she does such a good job of it. And every team meeting we have, we're like, okay, Kay, show us what you got. All right, so I'm taking all these dimensionals off. Okay, let's get these on this end. Okay, there we go. I'm going to add this right to the center of my card right here. There we go. And look, that's going to slide. Look how easily that slides back and forth. That just makes my heart so happy. Okay, so now we got to do our trees on either end here. We're going to just put these darker trees on either end. Maybe I'll put this one on this side. So I'm going to add some dimensionals to the backs of these. And same here. Cute, huh? Okay. I've got my, let's see, how wide is this? This is a 1¼ inch stitch circle. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment, let the adventure begin in Poppy Parade. I really like these campy colors, don't you? So I'm going to get it over me here so I can stamp within that circle. Let the adventure begin. I'm going to grab my twine, linen thread, and I'm going to create a faux bow here. I'm going to add some Seal Plus to the back of my circle, and let's see, yep, my faux bow to go right like that. And then this is going to get popped up right kind of on this side over here. Good morning, Lord Kemp. Thanks for joining us. Cute. Okay, so now I just got to work on my RV. And we are actually going to heat emboss our RV with silver embossing powder. And so I'm going to grab my Versamark. Before I do that, I want to grab my embossing buddy and take all the static. The embossing buddy just takes the static off your paper, so you don't get embossing powder where you don't want it. Okay, and so I'm adding Versamark. I think my Versamark is getting a little not juicy, but I went to go place an order for it and it's on back order. So I'll just have to wait a little bit longer. So I'm stamping my RV with Versamark. Versamark is a sticky, clear ink that allows the embossing powder to stick to it. So let me grab my little spoon here, and I'm just going to pour my silver embossing powder over my RV. Looks like I need to hit that back side a little bit. There we go. Okay. And then I like to kind of flick it, get any stray embossing powder off of there. There we go. Okay, let me put the lid back on this, and then I'm going to grab my heat gun, and you want to see it turn from dull to shiny. Okay, so it's going to be a loud little noise here for just a second. Okay, and I'll hold it up here so you can kind of see. So right now it's kind of a dull gray. It's going to get hot. And look, can you see that turning to shiny? It's kind of magic. See how, do you see how one side is shiny and the other is dull? You want not to see any dull. You want the whole thing to be shiny. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to use some of my blends here, and I've pulled out my garden green, my dark and light smoky slate, light smoky slate, basic black. I have my light pumpkin pie and both colors of my Poppy Parade, but I'm not sure I even need both colors. Okay, so I'm going to start coloring my RV, and I'm wanting my original slider so I can remember how I did this. Okay. So the top is going to be smoky slate here. And I'm just going right inside those embossed lines. There we go. And then anything else I want? Oh, my bumpers here. Front and back bumpers. There we go. My black, inside my wheels. There we go. Black, I'm going to go around the edge of these wheels. I'm going to use the brush tip. I'm going to use my firm tip. Cute, right? I like it. Next, I'm going to do every other of our pennant banner here, overhang, in light pumpkin pie. And also my grill here. Anything else? Nope. I think that's it for the pumpkin pie. Okay, so now Poppy Parade is going to be the every other one of our pennant. I love the colors in this. Isn't that cute? I like how Monica brought in the colors from the background to make our cute little RV right here. Okay. What else is going to, our door is going to be Poppy Parade. There we go. I'm going to add a little shading to my window box in my door with a little dark. Tomorrow we have a really cute little 3D project for you that has a camping theme. We found some cute treats to put inside it. Okay, so I'm bringing out, this is shaded spruce here just for my greenery in my flower box. And then I just realized I think I want to do the steps here in Smoky Slate as well. There we go. Okay, I'm going to grab my die. That was super quick and easy today, right? I'm going to grab my die and cut this out right here. Grab my tearing tape. And then I can put a dimensional right here on this slider right here and add my RV to the top of it. And it will just slide with that slider. Here we go. I'm going to put it right in the middle. Put it on my RV on here. Right. Like that. And look how my RV just slides back and forth. Isn't that adorable? Do you guys like that? I think he's super cute. He's going up the mountain. He's going down the mountain. He's sliding back and forth. I love it. Love it. I hope you guys love it too. Okay, so now all we have to do is the inside of our card. Super simple. We are going to just stamp some of our trees over here in the bottom corner. Let's add some stamping off. There we go. Super cute. So I love it, Sue. I think it's fun. I think someone who gets this card is going to be, oh, cute. How that RV slides back and forth going up the mountain there. So fun. Okay, so this is going to go on the inside. Laid that down a little too quick. Well, we're just gonna go with it. All right, there we go. Inside, let the adventure begin. Our little RV slides back and forth. It's wanting to kind of dip a little bit. I don't know what to do about that. Maybe put a second slider in there on it. I don't know. We'll play with it, but I like it. Do you guys like it? I think it's super fun. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to pull all of our little cards out here that we've made so far this week. Here we go. Who would have guessed you could make so many cute cards from one little stamp set and dies, right? With a camp theme to it. So I hope you can see that you can get lots of different looks from this stamp set and die set. Super cute. And I'm gonna turn to my face here. I will see you back here tomorrow for our 3D project for the week. You can get a kit to make all of these cards. If you're nice, I'll even cut your little slit for you for your slider and include a little slider disc. So with a $45 order right there in my TuddleUpShop.com, and I will send you a kit to make all 5 projects, including the project that we will be making tomorrow, a 3D project, and you can get it in your house to go by placing an order with me. So thank you so much. God bless everybody, and we will see you back tomorrow. Take a look at my Facebook page. If I'm subbing in the afternoon, I might come on early at like 10 a.m. So let me be sure to come to my Facebook page and see what time I'll be on tomorrow. So bye-bye. God bless. We'll see you soon.